this has got to be one of the nicest campgrounds we've ever been in for a variety of reasons. Yep. So the first thing to note is I'm going to just spin it around here because these are all the sites in this campground, all of them paved and all of them empty, except for one person besides us. There are 55 sites in this campground, and literally there are 3 campers in it and one guy's getting ready to go. But you look at these sites, they're all paved, they all have water and electric hookups, and they are $20 a night. $20. There's also a laundromat here and walking trails. There are tents you can rent, there are cabins you can rent. $20 a night. Unless you're over 62, then you get half off. So we are staying here for 6 nights for $74.
It's pretty good.
It's very good. Couldn't do worse.
Yeah.
We are, we'll show you the site when we get over there, but basically we have our own deck and dock. Mm-hmm. So, highly, highly recommend South Toledo Bend State Park in the great state of Louisiana. So the primary thing that we did in South Toledo Bend was to spend several days paddling around the different islands and exploring the little eddies and back canals that were nearby. There was hiking in the park, but not very much. It was pretty short. But we did enjoy the beaches and the placid waters. They were just beautiful the whole time we were there. And so we spent some time just relaxing there before we headed off to Layfayette, Louisiana, where we were itching to try some of the local Cajun cuisine. So we moved on to Cajun Heritage State Park and got our first taste of Cajun cuisine. Okay.
So this is the, what is this again?
This is the éfouté. This is supposed to be like a gravy that they make. Why don't you open this up to just show them first? We got quite the sampler. So this is éfouté. Looks kind of yummy. It's got shrimp in it, I think. There's that. And then that is.
I think this is a sausage.
This is boudin, which is a sausage. We're gonna taste that. And I think this is our sampler, our seafood sampler. Ooh, wow. Everything's fried in Louisiana. I think we're gonna have plenty left over.
So the question is, where's the gator? Which is the gator?
Oh, that's right. We got gator in here. I think this is gator. And this is shrimp. Those are fries. All right, we're gonna test it out. This étouffée is really good. It's got shrimp and kind of a gravy. And it's got a little bit of a kick. Okay, this is called boudin. And it's a sausage that comes in a casing that you're not supposed to eat the casing on.
Not too bad.
I mean, it's kind of a weird way to eat it, but it's pretty good. All of it's good. So, what did we learn about Louisiana food?
It's deep fried.
Everything is deep fried.
Very tasty.
Yes.
But it was very good.
Yeah. We had gator, we had crawfish, we had shrimp, we had fries, we had boudin, and we had étouffée.
Yeah.
All of it was good,
Yep.
and we totally dig the like restaurant and a grocery store kind of feel because it's so local and so small town. And always the owners come out and talk to you.
Yeah, it was great.
All right, so we're on to our first Louisiana Walmart.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Don't tell them that.
I know. So one of the best parts about our travel is that we get to connect up with friends. Look!
Friends!
we have 2 friends.
We paid them money.
When are your friends going to be here?
And who are you?
I brought a stocking hat and not a...
So Larry, What are we doing?
We're going to go see where the alligators would normally sit if the weather was warm.
If it wasn't freezing.
Yes, we're going to see. They have some cement alligators on logs that we're going to go watch.
We're paying a pretty penny for this.
Yes.
And we're freezing.
Yeah.
So.
Now, is it an airboat or is it a different kind of boat?
It's an airboat. It's
Airboat.
windy. So we're on our way to do a swamp tour of the, what basin is this called, Larry?
Atchafalaya.
Atchafalaya. That sounds like a disease. So we're going to go on a tour. And this is our tour guide. All right.
My favorite part is where Marquita's filming and walks off the edge of the dock.
Yes. Are those babies?
Yep. Those are babies.
Where's their mama?
Usually there's 50 of them right here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the water's come up so much. They used to have a log, a hollow log up ahead.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They were all staying in that log.
What would you rate our swamp tour?
Well, the tour operator, McGee's, was, I thought, very good.
Mm-hmm.
Our only challenges were, one, it was fairly cool out.
It was cold.
It was cold, and going 25 miles an hour on a airboat was quite chilling. We were quite chilled and quite actually glad to get off it at the end.
It was cold.
Number two, alligators, when it gets cold, like to hibernate, basically. They basically tunnel under the mud and they hide. So all we saw were 3 tiny little heads of little baby alligators was all we saw. Saw some birds, saw some swamp, but there wasn't a lot of other stuff along the way. And I think a lot of that was had to do with just the fact that it was cold out and things weren't moving. It wasn't anything to do with the operator. The operator was great. But maybe the springtime would have been a better time to go when it's starting to warm.
Well, we are in Lafayette, and that's how they pronounce it.
Yeah, Lafayette.
We want to
downtown.
say Lafayette, but it's Lafayette, and we found an events thing that said that there were murals around here that were done on walls, and so we decided to come down to historic downtown.
Check out the artwork.
Yeah, check out the artwork. So we're hoping that it is as nice as it looks on the little article that we saw. So we'll share that with you as we go. So come on. They put out markers for people to, I guess, do graffiti or say what they wanted to say. So Tom and I, not to be left out, added our own comment to the T. And Tom did his own little sweet thing over here on the E. We like the little towns, and this one certainly has a charming feel to it, especially the streets with all the trees on it. But the murals were pretty amazing.
Yeah, they're very nice.
So we came, we saw, and if you happen to be in the area, it's worth a little trip down here and just to walk around. And there's not a lot of people around town, so
at least on a Friday afternoon.
yeah. So I'm sure it'll be hopping tonight. But anyway, this is Lafayette, and I'd say it's nice enough.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, on to the next thing. So we are in Searim State Park, just out of Port Arthur, Texas. We are down on the Gulf Coast, and we have been here this is our 5th day. It's the morning, but for about an hour or two, a couple hours on one of those days, it's been raining and cold. And so we are trying to get out and enjoy the weather today. It is actually quite beautiful here. So we're going to show you what it looks like here on the beach. So it's actually been quite beautiful to do walks along the beach. There's a big great heron over there. Lots of birds. We're in a kind of a marshy area. We'll show you on the way back. The park itself is really quite nice. 15 sites that are literally, you know, steps from the beach. And it's been lovely, but it's been a little blustery and rainy and chilly. Anyway, we'll show you what our campground looks like here in a minute. And that is the extent of our campground. So there's about 15 spaces, very well laid out, all cement, mostly pull through, pretty easy, and has water and electric, right? Water and electric.
So we're out on the Big Thicket National Preserve. It's a paddling trail called Kountze Lake to Scatterman Trail. This has got to be probably one of my most favorite places we've paddled so far.
Yeah, it was beautiful. We really like Caddo Lake. But the thing that made this one different than Caddo Lake is we were able to really get into the woods versus along Caddo Lake. You just kind of went along the side of the lake itself.
It's sort of like a hiking trail through the woods, except you're in a kayak.
Right. So it was a lovely way to get out of the camper after 3 days of rain or 4 days of rain.
And a beautiful day to do it.
Right. So if you want to find this paddling trail, again, it's in the Big Thicket National Preserve. It's the Neches River, and the trail is called Kountze Lake to Scatterman.
Yep. 4.8 miles.
4.8 miles. Absolutely beautiful. And well marked. It was well marked along the way. Why are you vacuuming the windows?
We're hunting bugs.
Do tell.
So, tons of mosquitoes in this location, and woke up this morning, they were all over the insides of the windows. Marquita's great idea was using the vacuum so we're not blowing bugs all over the walls when we're bashing them.
There's one on the upper window.
So this is really great for sucking them up, but we got to find some holes because they're getting in someplace. So that's going to be our next project here, is trying to seal up all the little holes we've got there letting bugs in.
So tell us about last night.
It was not pleasant. We woke up and there must have been 50 or 100 of them all over the bedroom windows in there. So.
And their little bodies in the bed with us.
Smashing them on your head and arm and everything when you're trying to sleep. So.
Right. All right. So that makes a project for next week.
Yeah. When we can order stuff on Amazon and get things installed. So we had an opportunity to pick up some material to try and deal with our mosquito issue that we had at Sabine State Park. So what we bought was, this is just pipe insulation from Home Depot. I don't know, I think this is maybe 1-inch style, but we needed a pretty big diameter piece of foam. And what we're trying to do here is stuff it into some openings. So I'm going to just show you a couple spots where we're putting this. So one of the places we figured that bugs are probably come in, and we're getting a lot of them, seems like they're in the bedroom and can be coming in the closet. So this is under our front cap is where the closet is, and this is our hitch here, and there's a great big gap up here. So we cut one piece of foam and shoved it in and basically completely filled up that gap. So we're hoping that resolves the biggest part of it. And then the other place, I found a gap in here, and I don't know how easily it is for bugs to get in here, but there are some openings. So there's another space up underneath the floor here in the front, and you can see the foam that we've shoved in these gaps because this is all open up here. I didn't want to spray like spray foam in these things because I might want to be able to get back in here and open that up to get wires through and stuff, and with spray foam that would be really hard to do. So I can always pull these pieces of foam back out if we need to do that at some point. So hopefully that takes care of the problem for us.
And so that's a wrap for our trip to South Toledo Bend, Louisiana, Lafayette, Louisiana, and Searim State Park in just outside of Beaumont, Texas. Be sure to join us for our next episode where we spend a considerable amount of time in Jamaica Beach at the west end of Galveston Island.